Meghan Markle has faced an international backlash all week, with celebrities now weighing in on both sides of the Atlantic, by the way, about her botched brand relaunch. First, look at her being openly mocked and challenged by Jack Osbourne in his appearance on the Bert Kreischer podcast. Plus, we're going to look at how she's now being challenged in the UK. But just to sum up, Pedina, it really does feel like this week was another seminal moment in the decline of brand Meghan Markle, because these mainstream media outlets, which in the past would have been supportive, these celebrities like Gwyneth Paltrow just openly now being prepared to turn on her. They're not whispering these things behind her back. It's out there in the public domain.
Yeah, I think we have something that is starting to get momentum, right? I remember in the very beginning when all this was happening, I said somebody with a name, somebody who has a wide reach needs to come out and say something. And it's taken some years because, we've been talking about this for a while, but it's actually finally starting to happen. And I think other people will now jump on the bandwagon and, Gwyneth and, others are saying something. They're going to want to side with the majority of people and be brave and just say it, because Megan has tried to intimidate and brand herself as someone to be a voice to reckon with. But no, people really are starting to see that they have to stand up against what is wrong. And it comes down to your behavior. It comes down to doing the right thing by people and just being a good person. You can tell by how Megan has treated people personally in her own life to show you how she will treat people that are strangers. So don't fall for the fake facade of her trying to show that she's caring and loving towards strangers, when all you have to do is look at how she treats those closest in her lives. And I think people, celebrities, are starting to see that now and wake up to it, because there's a lot of talk behind the scenes with famous people, people that we don't really hear from often in the public domain. And so these whispers are happening more and more, and the word is getting out there. And yeah, people are just going to slowly start to say something, and she'll eventually get the message when, things don't really start going her way anymore. It is starting to happen,
Totally. And the thing is, we know what celebrities are like, P. Dina, from our previous lives, and they are sheep. They follow the crowd. And so there's been a lot of talk for a long time behind the scenes. Oh, we don't really like what Prince Harry's doing with Meghan Markle here. But for a period, that wasn't the cool thing. The cool thing was to be supportive, especially when they had the endorsement of real game changers in the celebrity space like Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres. What's so fascinating, of course, is that over the past 5 years, Ellen DeGeneres has completely fallen, exposed as a sort of Meghan Markle style bully, and Oprah actually had her reputation damaged because she didn't challenge the Sussex lies. But look, there's been a lot of criticism, as you would expect, from some outspoken celebrities here in the UK too, P. Dina. And I wanted to play you a specific moment with the brilliant Alex Phillips hosting on Talk TV alongside Kevin O'Sullivan. I'll get your reaction off the back, but Alex is very much making the case here that not only was Meghan Markle a narcissist, she claims the royal family knew she was a narcissist, and that's why they didn't want Prince Harry to marry her. I need you to do something for me right now. It is free, it is easy, it is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. What about her claim there that, in fact, the royal family were aware of Meghan's narcissism, and that was behind their reluctance to let her into the family?
I think Harry should have listened to his family. They would have had his best interest at heart. But I think Harry was just trying to be rebellious and push back against people telling him things that he perhaps didn't want to hear. But unfortunately for Harry, he didn't listen to his family. And people may say, the royal family is racist or whatever and say all these things. This is a situation where they were trying to tell him the truth. And that's just not true about, the royal family being racist. They're so, trying to show inclusivity, but she just is somebody you can't include. You just can't because she wants to take over. She wants it to be about her. And like she was saying, it's the royal family. Meghan did not want to listen. That is the facts. Harry didn't want to listen. And now they have found themselves in the midst of a firestorm. I just hope that the royal family is not covering up anything for Meghan. I feel like they're keeping their distance from Meghan. And I think sometimes you just have to pull down and just say, hey, look, we're going to show you, look what you have done. They, I think, have the power to do something with Harry to really try to show him, stop being taken over by this woman. I mean, Harry is losing control. His whole life is spiraling out of control. It's not going to get better. This is not something that, oh, eventually let's just wait and see what happens. Uh-uh. This is something that is going to destroy this man. We already know he's had issues. I think the royal family at this point, they saw it in the beginning. And now we're at a point where you need to go save your son. He has had issues in the past with his mental health. He has had issues with substance abuse. How do you try to not do something to save the inevitable that could be happening? Because I really do feel like Harry is in not a good spot right now. You can see it on his face and then how he lightens up when she's no longer
Oh,
around.
of course,
I
but
think this
then
is
in
a
tears,
big
in
moment.
tears at the Invictus Games closing
Yes.
ceremony, and everyone tries to say that it was because Justin Trudeau, his bro, was being so nice about him. No, 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 that's not my take. The pressure on
Mm-mm.
him had become so serious because Meghan had obviously defied him in terms of releasing the images of the children, and he just lost it in a way that his mother used to. I'm really interested, P. Dina, though, to see the backlash against Meghan and Harry go mainstream in America. We saw Jack Osbourne in that Bert Kreischer podcast. Now, this is very much mainstream American opinion, and it must be the type of thing that is particularly damning to Prince Harry because these are the types of celebrities who he used to have on side, and now they're openly mocking his wife and questioning Harry's life's choices. Yeah, I love it too. But what was fascinating, because what I want to do, P. Dina, is look back at the week in terms of the coverage. And it's really critical to have some idea of whether the publication was a woke publication that was previously in favor of Harry and Meghan. And so let me start with this example in The Guardian, because The Guardian is the wokest of the woke newspapers. And The Guardian always wanted to be in full support of Meghan Markle and against the British royal family. But even they are no longer in support. So this headline, Meghan's rebranded herself and it's another valiant attempt to flog poshness to the little people, is, I think, again, absolutely damning. Let me take you through a little bit of what Emma Brox reported or wrote. She's an opinion columnist, in fairness. She said, "It's ridiculous, of course, as is the hello little people tone adopted by the former Royal Highness in keeping with the general attitude of the famous towards the unfamous, namely one of stating the bleeding obvious as though sharing the key to existence. Meghan is a minnow in these waters, but of course has her own secret weapon she isn't shy about using. In the new video, she deploys good old Harry to hold up the camera phone and drop a few posh tones to remind us that even if as ever isn't royal exactly, it is at least royal adjacent. Both brands have an aspirant lower middle class vibe about them, which it would be rude to point out were it not for the fact that Harry and Meghan trade on class as part of their branding. What they are selling isn't poshness itself, which strictly speaking should entail low comfort, hole in the elbows, bad cooking and drafty homes. But much like Trump and his performance of Billionaire, a kind of poshness they imagine might appeal to the peasants." And look, I know The Guardian obviously comes from that left-wing perspective. But again, damning. And these were the people that they thought they could rely on, P. Dina.
Yeah, I think it's like what I said earlier about with Gwyneth, people are starting to speak out and have the courage to, you see the elephant in the room, you better say something. You can no longer just ignore it. And people just can't ignore it anymore. And, trying to appeal to the little people, yeah, like let them eat cake, you can't be like this in social media. I mean, everyone is so aware of everything you do that your life essentially is an open book on the internet, and people are going to call you out. People have voices. You talk about, not being able to have your voice, Megan. Look, you've empowered a lot of women to come out and speak and have a voice with your nonsense. So, yeah, we're coming out and saying something. And I love this because this is what needs to happen. People, those publications, opinion pieces need to come out and call a spade a spade. Hey, look, girl, you're messed up. You're wrong, and you just have to wake up and try to be better now because your life is not going to get better moving forward. Not with people turning on you like this. It's like you have to recognize the obvious. It's like we can't see you. Okay, it's just like she's just trying to go about her business like all is good in the world, humdy dum. We're looking at you. We see you, and we're gonna call you out, girl. Okay, we're gonna
Totally.
call you
And
out.
and
You better
what's
stop.
yeah, and what's interesting, PD, even those that don't want to call her out are having to call her out. So I found another example from the pro Meghan media this week. It's the London Standard, an article by India Block. Now, this woman is mega woke, right? But look at the headline. Will anything ever go right for Meghan Markle? Not if the haters have their way. So that's trying to blame people like you and me, P. Dina. But then you dig into the article, and India Block writes, still, Meghan seems determined to remain connected to the questionable institution that she rejected as it rejected her. Even on the other side of the ocean, she is still assisting in the project of applying a rosy haze of palatable jam-on scones nostalgia over the British Empire's redoubtable legacy. Now, of course, I totally disagree with India Block, who's like a royal hating, British hating writer. But what's interesting is that Meghan, again, is annoying her base because it's like, I thought you hated these guys. I thought you hated everything the Royal Institution was about. But this seemingly is what this brand is trying to get at.
Yeah, she's trying to be that brand of royalty here in America, like trying to adopt her own kind of royal standard. But no, we have that already, and I don't think anyone's going to fall onto Megan's royal type branding. She is pretty much, I think, lost in what it is that she wants to do. She's trying to cling to something that she claims is was something bad for her, and people are not falling for it. I just find her to be really a hot mess, Dan. I think she has embarrassed herself beyond repair. And I just don't understand it. Like with what I wrote on X, it's like, don't you have money? Don't you have the wherewithal to do things the right way? It just seems so ghetto and not no class. Like you're trying to have class, but you don't. And it's like we see you don't, but you're like, I still do. And it's like, it's like I can't believe what I'm watching. It is so embarrassing at this point.
It is. It
And
is. Well, actually, on that note, I did have to say my favorite headline of the week was from Mamma Mia, and the columnist who just wrote, I believe in my soul that Meghan Markle is trolling us and I'm eating it up. But the thing is, Pete Dina, she's not. She is serious about it all.
she's very serious. It's like that's why I said get your popcorn because we are watching a soap opera. She's living the Truman Show. We are watching her and she thinks she's doing one thing and we're seeing another. It is unbelievable. This is history making at its best.
P. Dina, though, what I do want to call out is the pro Harry and Meghan media, though. There are a few outlets, believe it or not, that still remain propagandists for Harry and Meghan. They are the ones that literally get the phone calls and run this positive publicity. They sort of ignore reality. It's very, very bizarre. Omid Scobie has retired. Even he can't continue with somehow trying to spin the absolute bleak reality of the Sussexes' business lives, but there are some who do. So let me take you through some of the astonishing spin of the week, P. Dina. So we had Us Weekly reporting how Meghan Markle's As Ever logo represents her love with Prince Harry. And the briefing to Us Weekly, and we know this would have come directly from Harry and Meghan, is that Us Weekly understands that the palm tree was chosen as a nod to Meghan and Harry's home in Montecito, where they live with their 2 children. Meanwhile, the hummingbirds were chosen because they are a favourite of Harry, Us can confirm. And there was more of this rubbish in Tatler as well, which reported a subtle nod to Prince Archie. Meghan Markle's As Ever logo is full of poignant symbolic meaning for the Sussex family. So they tried to claim that actually, no. The hidden reference is actually not about Prince Harry. It's about Archie. So that was how Tatler went. Then Hello, and I mean, this was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You're crazy. So Hello magazine reported P. Dina. Remember, after everything we saw and reported on their relationship at the Invictus Games, but Hello goes with the headline, Inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's unbreakable bond at life-changing Invictus Games. Now, what's interesting, of course, P. Dina, is that these pro Harry and Meghan publications are becoming few and far between. But goodness me, they still drink the Kool-Aid. And are there some people who believe this stuff?
They want people to believe it, but I don't think that they really will. I think it's just a headline that Meghan may have, I don't know, helped to pay for or something, because these people are trying to give us some kind of sense of goodwill and things are all great. No, it's not. So how can you say this? I think it's for the people that really don't pay attention, that are just reading certain headlines and are just kind of going with the flow. But the majority of people read right through that. And I think it's just Meghan trying to get herself some paid PR to sound good and to be a good person, to keep her essentially then in her delusion, to keep her there. These headlines, that's all that they're doing. They're just keeping her where she wants to be. She doesn't want to be in reality, because if you really wanted to succeed, you would listen to the people who are in the real world telling you something is wrong. You wouldn't try to cover it up with these nonsense headlines, because yeah, forever is never going to be Harry and Meghan. I can tell you that, because we already see the cracks now. Just keep talking your delusion.
Well,
That's what it is.
Indeed. So, P. Dina, I actually just wanted to give these few propagandists that remain just a little reminder that it's actually the independent media that is now revealing the truth about Harry and Meghan. Obviously, you do so brilliantly on your channel. We do so here. So, P. Dina, you don't need the mainstream media and these propagandists anymore, do you? Because we're going to be revealing the truth in the independent space.
Because people talk, things are heard behind the scenes. There's always this chatter you don't hear about, and we come out and say what we've heard, because there is a there, okay? So yeah, it's going to come out. They can keep trying to cover it up, but the truth is the truth. And your body language is always going to show us your real true feelings, even if you don't want it to, because it's there in your being. You can't cover it up. And Harry showed us that, yeah, there's definitely cracks. There's problems, and we see it. So they can't really cover it up.
For years, discussions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have divided public opinion. Supporters have praised the couple for stepping away from royal life and pursuing independence, while critics have questioned many of their public decisions since relocating to California. Now, another chapter has unfolded, and according to many commentators, this week may represent one of the most significant moments yet in the ongoing conversation surrounding Meghan Markle's public image. The latest focus is Meghan's newest lifestyle brand relaunch, which has generated widespread discussion across social media, entertainment outlets, and celebrity circles. What has surprised many observers isn't simply the criticism itself, but where it's coming from. Traditionally, many mainstream entertainment publications and celebrity figures have either remained supportive of Meghan or avoided openly criticizing her projects. This time, however, several commentators believe the tone has noticeably changed. That shift has become one of the biggest talking points. According to critics, celebrities who once appeared reluctant to publicly question Meghan's business ventures are now openly sharing skeptical opinions. Whether that represents a genuine turning point or simply another cycle of internet commentary remains open to interpretation, but it has certainly fueled debate. One example receiving attention involves Jack Osbourne, whose comments during a recent podcast appearance quickly circulated online. While celebrity opinions alone rarely determine public perception, critics argue that they may reflect broader conversations already taking place behind closed doors. Some commentators believe people within Hollywood have privately discussed concerns about Harry and Meghan's public image for years, but simply chose not to speak publicly. Now, they argue, those conversations may finally be reaching the public. Whether that's accurate is difficult to verify. Still, it's clear that reactions to Meghan's latest business venture have been unusually widespread. Another major theme emerging from recent discussions centers on celebrity influence. Public opinion often shifts when recognizable figures begin expressing views that were once considered unpopular. Critics suggest that once a few high-profile personalities become comfortable voicing skepticism, others may feel more willing to join the conversation. Again, that's speculation rather than established fact, but it has become a recurring argument among royal commentators. The discussion also revisits the role major celebrity endorsements played during the Sussexes' early years after leaving royal duties. When Harry and Meghan first stepped back as senior working royals, they received support from influential names within American entertainment. That support helped shape much of the public narrative surrounding the couple during those early years. However, several commentators now argue that today's entertainment landscape looks very different. Some celebrities who once appeared closely associated with Harry and Meghan have largely disappeared from the conversation, while others who previously avoided criticism are becoming more willing to question aspects of Meghan's public branding. Whether this reflects changing public sentiment or simply changing news cycles remains a matter of opinion. The discussion also extended to commentary from British media personalities. Some TV hosts argued that tensions between Meghan and the royal family were evident long before the couple officially left royal life. These discussions frequently revisit long-standing questions about whether members of the royal family had concerns during Harry and Meghan's relationship before their wedding. It's important to note that these remain opinions expressed by commentators rather than confirmed facts. No public evidence has established what individual family members privately believed during that period. Nevertheless, those theories continue to generate significant discussion whenever new developments emerge. Another recurring topic involves Prince Harry himself. Several commentators expressed concern about how he has appeared during recent public appearances, suggesting that he sometimes looks under pressure. Others disagree with those interpretations, pointing out that it's impossible to accurately judge someone's emotional state based solely on photographs or brief public appearances. As with many discussions surrounding the Sussexes, perceptions vary dramatically depending on the observer. One of the most talked about developments this week involved coverage from publications that have historically been viewed as sympathetic
toward Harry and Meghan. Commentators highlighted opinion pieces questioning Meghan's latest branding strategy, arguing that even outlets previously considered supportive are now becoming more critical. For critics, this represents evidence that the media landscape is changing. Supporters, however, may simply see it as normal editorial diversity rather than a dramatic shift. Regardless of perspective, the headlines have certainly attracted attention. The debate surrounding Meghan's lifestyle branding has become particularly intense. Critics argue that her latest project attempts to present an image of luxury and elegance while relying heavily on royal associations. Supporters counter that celebrities regularly build lifestyle brands around personal identity, making Meghan no different from countless others in entertainment. Ultimately, consumers will decide whether the brand resonates with audiences. Another interesting aspect of the discussion involves expectations. When Harry and Meghan left royal duties, many observers anticipated a series of major commercial successes. Some projects achieved significant visibility, others received mixed reviews. Critics argue that maintaining long-term relevance in Hollywood has proven more challenging than initially expected. Supporters point out that building new businesses takes time and that every entrepreneur experiences setbacks along the way. Both perspectives continue fueling debate. The conversation also examined media narratives. Some publications continue publishing highly positive stories about Harry and Meghan's relationship, emphasizing family life, charitable work, and shared projects. Meanwhile, other outlets focus primarily on criticism surrounding branding decisions, public appearances, or business ventures. As a result, audiences often encounter two dramatically different portrayals depending on which publication they read. This contrast has become increasingly noticeable. Critics argue that certain magazines continue presenting highly favorable coverage despite growing public skepticism. Others respond that celebrity media has always relied on positive access journalism and exclusive interviews, making such coverage unsurprising. Another recurring discussion involves authenticity. Since stepping away from royal duties, Harry and Meghan have frequently emphasized living life on their own terms. Supporters believe they have succeeded in creating independence outside the monarchy. Critics argue that continued references to royal connections create conflicting messages. That disagreement remains central to many debates surrounding their public image. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from this week's discussion is not any single headline, but the broader perception that media coverage is evolving. Whether that perception reflects reality or simply temporary news cycles remains uncertain. Public opinion is constantly changing. Celebrity reputations rise and fall. Media narratives shift over time. Harry and Meghan have experienced extraordinary levels of attention since leaving royal life, and every new project inevitably becomes part of that ongoing conversation. For now, Meghan's latest brand relaunch has certainly achieved one objective. It has everyone talking. Some believe the criticism signals a lasting change in public perception. Others believe the controversy will fade once the next major entertainment story dominates headlines. Only time will reveal which view proves more accurate. One thing seems certain. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle remain among the most discussed public figures connected to the modern royal family. Every new business venture, interview, or public appearance continue generating intense debate across traditional media, independent creators, podcasts, and social platforms alike. And if recent reactions are any indication, that conversation shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. What do you think? Has media coverage of Harry and Meghan genuinely changed over the past few years, or is this simply another news cycle attracting attention? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal news and commentary.